Alright, how's it going, guys? We are back, and we are going to be looking at the lithium processing science that we just did, which it is going to give us a different recipe for making batteries. So this is going to be 4 iron plates, 4 copper plates, and 4 lithium, which will make a regular battery now. And if we come over here, we have that recipe for batteries. But then if we come over here, we have this recipe for batteries. So let's actually go up here. They look identical. They have the same name, so I would expect that they are exactly the same thing. So that is the regular recipe, and that is the one that uses lithium. So just to compare, you're using 1 iron, 1 copper, and 20 sulfuric acid, or you're going to be using 4 iron, 4 copper, and 4 lithium, but you're going to get 12 batteries versus 1 battery. So this is going to be way more efficient on your iron and copper use, and it's not going to require sulfur, so we're not going to have to make sulfuric acid at the moment, so it'll take less oil products. And the nice thing about this is, another thing we get from the lithium processing is lithium we can get from our dirty water. So every 100 dirty water will give us 100 water and a lithium. And 100 dirty water is 2 processes through our copper, iron, stone. They each give 50 each. And we also need to look at changing this over as well for our stone, so we can get our mysterious energy crystals from here instead of only breeding them down yonder. So we're going to be doing a lot of changing over here in our ore processing area. So what I'm going to do first is cut the power to this area. It should be as simple as that, and that will cut this area off. I need to reconnect this power somewhere else so I can do that a little easier. But let's take a look here. So we had set this up here to run iron through these 2, because you can do 2 of the purifiers to 1 for the water, because these were not running. This one was not running nearly as often as this one was, so I set this up here, but we're now not going to need that. So give me just a minute here to clear some area. We're going to need more room for our ceramics anyways, and I have set up this more efficient way of smelting things. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clear this area out. I will most definitely be efficient about it and get everything cleared out. I'm not going to just void a bunch of stuff. But give me a minute, we'll get this cleared out, clear out an area up here, and we'll set up some new processing here. Be right back. Alright, so I've done a bit of cleanup around here, and I was looking at the processing time here, and it looks like the dirty water for getting lithium is 0.267 seconds, or of a second, however you guys say your decimal point stuff. So in making it is going to be 2 seconds and 1 second. So that's approximately 3 purifiers can run one, almost 4, but at least 3 purifiers running ore can be ran through one of our assembly machines. So I basically decided to clean out this whole area. I haven't quite got completed because this weird contraption of a mess you see here for stone, I'm literally going to get rid of, because after looking at it, it's kind of hideous. It served the purpose just fine, but it's kind of hideous. So I'm going to get rid of that. I've decided we're going to bring all of our ores up through this main area here. I'm just kind of getting rid of the stone, the old stone one here. And we're basically going to have a ore processing bus as well, just like we do for everything on the opposite side. So we need to have ore processing for iron, copper, and stone. And the stone needs to be basically the first one, because we need it to feed the line before the copper and the iron, because it's going to give out copper and iron. So let's get our purifiers here. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of run them along this direction. That way we can just keep adding more in up there. And give me a minute. I'm going to get rid of this coal line because we're not going to need it ran up and around there anymore. We can just kind of feed it right through the top here. Oh, I did want to show you before I got rid of these, because I'm getting rid of these so we can use this for ceramic processing. I swear it's a bug in Factorio itself, because I see this in every mod pack that I play that uses fluids. Every one of these metal casters is sitting at 99.9 fluid. I cannot get rid of that last 0.1. Even though these two are butted up directly together, somehow I always lose that 0.1 fluid. It's really annoying. But I've gone ahead and gotten all of these cleaned out. There's nothing in any of them. And I'm going to move the steel and the aluminum over into this area somewhere. Haven't decided where yet. But I'll be right back after I get the rest of this cleaned up, and we'll set up our purifying stuff. Alright, I think I kind of got this done now. I'm not completely through with my cleanup, because I'm going to clean up this area here a bit more and rework this a bit. And I'm actually thinking, since we don't need coal coming in over here, we really don't need it running through this area. I can actually have it come in maybe down there, but I haven't quite decided yet. But this is going to leave us a lot more room for making ceramic. Also going to revamp this area here. I've already taken out the iron that was running over there, and we're basically going to have these lines come down and connect over here. to where we're putting them down into that area, and we'll just split them off here, probably take out this stone wall area and just have our line split off to the main line and the circuit line here. Probably put in a couple extra, because I am quite sure we're going to need way more iron than just one belt. But let's get to the actual ore processing stuff, and then we will work on, I will work on that later. So first thing is we want to do our stone, which is going to be this mysterious energy crystal one. Actually, I just realized that doesn't give us aluminum, which is the main reason why we do the stone, is because that's our only way of getting aluminum. So let's actually look here. So the energy crystal one, we're going to get 1 from every 200 acid. This acidic water here. So 200 from for every 1. Or we can do 15 water and a crystal will give us 2 crystals. So we can breed them way cheaper, even on the acidic water, than doing the stone thing and not lose out on our aluminum, which we need. Now, this is actually kind of interesting, the fact that we can use it to make sulfuric acid instead of having to use sulfur. So we will probably be doing that as well, and it looks like we can use it for purifying uranium ore when we get to that point. So we're not actually going to set up that. We're just going to go back to running this with the normal stone recipe for getting us our aluminum. And as I said, we're doing a 3-to-1 recipe here. So we're going to have 3 of these that will have stone coming in on the top and water coming in on the top as well. And then we're going to have these 3 going together here, so we don't have to use long handles. And I think it's more efficient for fluid transport anyways to use undergrounds. We'll do that. And then we will have this do our dirty water to lithium and clean water. And then we will have the clean water come back up and into the, actually, you know what? Instead of just looping this back around, I think I'm going to do what I did down below, so we don't have to initially feed it with a bit of water and then take that all out. I'm just going to set up a tank. And yes, my inventory is a huge mess. I've even tried to clean it out a bit. I made a series of boxes down here to hold all the things I've been taking off of belts, and I've even filled the iron one completely up, so that's why there's so much iron there. And I took out so many belts So there's tons of them. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run our water line up to here, which we are also going to pull this water line out of here because we do not need it running through there, making a mess of us being able to get to our ores. We're trying to get this whole area cleaned out of ores, which we are slowly doing. We don't need anything in the way. So I'm just going to bring this up along this way, and we'll have it go into the tank here, but we're going to put a pump on there. So let's go ahead and make a pump. And now I got to try to find that in this huge mess of a thing I call an inventory here. Luckily, if I hover over it, it'll show me where it's at. Alright, so there's that. And now we can get a piece of red wire here. And we can run it from here to the pump. And we can tell this that if water is less than, and this holds 5,000? What does a regular tank hold? 25k. Okay. So we'll set it to if it's got less than 20k. That will allow it to turn on. So we can go ahead and just put this up here. And we can run this down to there. And now that will put water into here until it gets to 20k. Once it hits 20k, then it should stop inputting water into the tank, which it did. Perfect. So now we just need to connect this water line back up to there. And we'll do this for each one of these. Imagine that being perfect like that. And then we will have, what do I need for another pump? An engine? Alright, let me go grab another engine. I don't usually keep those on me. At least not in any serious amount. We'll just keep a stack of them. That'll do me just fine. Nice that our boilers aren't running too much. Our pollution actually go down to almost nothing. Because at the moment we have almost nothing running. Alright, so we're going to make another pump. And we'll put that here as our output. And we don't want anything stopping it. We want this full on all the time. And this is going to be our main feed line. for all of our purifiers here. So we'll have that all connect like so. Now, why did that say cannot connect? This should be water input on each one of those, because that is a line going in. Alright, well, let's take that off for a minute. Okay, we can connect there. Cannot connect to different fluid. Well, I will force you. It does not make any sense, because that most definitely should be where the water goes in. That's got water, so it's definitely taking water in that way. But it will not let me put that. Alright, well, you want to be a pain, we'll do it like that. Oh, look here. Do that correctly. Alright, so we got water in there, we got dirty water coming out down there. Now, are you going to be a pain about this one? No, you were fine with that one. Alright, no idea what that was, but now we have this set up. So the only thing we need to do now is bring our stone line in here, which we do want to set up this, and we're going to tell this that we want the input priority to be from the left, so this will fill in as much as possible so we can get that 114 out of there. And then we can run this right along here like so. Once we get our stack inserters done, we can use those to input in here a bit faster. But for right now, this should do the trick just fine. And we'll connect this over to there. And there we go. We have our first bit taken care of there. And we should now have dirty water in here, which we do. And we're just going to pop this right over there. And there is our first bit of lithium. Now, we have water coming. Aha, there's your problem. Now, see, that's doing it too. There's water in this pipe. There's water in this pipe. They're the same thing, but it still wants to be a turd about it. I don't get this. But we can fix it. If this gives us any issues, which it will, we'll just pop that out and pop that in. And then we can just reset this one up for lithium. And there we go. Now we have our dirty water. Again, 99.9, which is really annoying. And we have our water coming back up here. Now, I do want to put a pump in here as well, because I absolutely hate it when it keeps water in that line. So we'll just pop that out of there. We'll put... I'm going to punch something today. This water thing is really getting annoying. Now, where in the heck did that pump go now? There it is. And that's going to be a pain about that. So we got to take out the pump, or take out the tank, put the tank back in. Cannot connect system with different fluids. Oh, this is going to be such a pain. Alright, I'm going to fix this. I'll be back in a minute. I just got to rework everything down the line, which is probably going to be just as much of a pain when I go to set up the other ones. I don't know what they did, but something is not right with this mod that it thinks water and water are not the same. I've never had this before in other mods, but I'm going to see if I can get this fixed. So you guys don't have to hear me grumble and gripe about it. I'll go ahead and get the rest of these set up, and I'll be back with you to show you what I ended up with at the end. Okay, so I'm back, and thanks to Greg, I figured out what the issue is. I would have never figured this out, but I started griping to Greg and IRC about it, and he said the issue was that this machine was turned so that the water and the mud, the dirty water, were on the same side here, where now they are opposite sides. So this was here, so I had water here and dirty water here. Even though they can't actually connect, for some reason Factorio thought that they were connected. And because of that, that is what caused all of our issues with getting the water in here, because now I can take out a pipe and I can connect a pipe. I actually had it to where I had to take this tank out to try to put in this pump, and it would not let it go in. But now I can actually put it in here because it doesn't think there's dirty water in the system, even though there never was any dirty water in the system. This is really, really annoying. But I've got it worked out, so I'm going to go back to setting this up. I need to redo the red wire here because I deleted it. So we're going from there to there, and this was water and 20K, not 30, not 10. Can we hit 20? Thank you. Alright, now if we put our power pole back in here, which, let's get rid of that for the moment. Yeah, we'll just throw that back in there. And we can connect that one right there. So now our water will stay going in there. This is all connected back up, and we're good to go. Now we just need to get the outputs for the solids taken care of, which this one's going to be a little bit more annoying. So we'll do it like that, and we'll connect these up. And we're going to do this the same way we did before, where we have them filtered off or separated, however you want to call that, down here. We'll just have them both connect right here, and then we'll have to set up this like so, and we'll have this do the aluminum going that direction. This one will do the copper, and we'll have it go to the right, and then the iron will come out here. So we'll have iron, copper, and aluminum, and I'll reset up the thing for the to make sure that the copper and the iron gets used off of these lines instead of those first when we send them over here. So now I just need to connect these lines over to the mains, and we're gonna set up the same system here for the iron and the copper. So there we go, everything's running. We will need to get our lithium out here, which for right now we'll just throw onto a belt. Now, I just thought about it. There is probably going to be a point where we do not need lithium. Let's look and see just how many lithium recipes we actually have. So we got our lithium battery, we have regular batteries, then we have energized diesel fuel unit, crushed lithium for something, super energized, some kind of solution, and then we have our crushed lithium, which will make our crystal matrix fluid, which I still haven't quite figured out what that is. We did need that for one of the... I thought we needed that for one of the KI1 things, but maybe I was wrong. So there may come a point where we have more lithium than what we're going to need. So I'm going to set up a steel box, and we're going to put that, say, here. And we're going to run this line over and have it input into there, and this will just fill up with lithium. And then what we're going to do is we'll set up another series of these assembly machines that will use the water just for cleaning. Because remember, we do have our dirty water recipe here for getting lithium, but we also can just do straight dirty water to water as well. And we also have the landfill recipe that uses 10,000 dirty water to make one landfill. So I think what we're going to do is we will have 3 series of them, and apparently we're going to have fluoride eventually as well coming out of there. That'll be later on down the road, but I will do some circuit network stuff, probably use like a pump to basically say, make lithium. If lithium is full, send it on down to the what will be fluorite. If that's full, then send that on down to be landfill, and if that's full, just turn it into water. And then we won't have a problem with dirty water getting filled up. But for right now, we'll just set it up like this, because it's going to take a while to get all of the lithium filled up into this box. And like I said, we're not going to have the fluorite one for quite a little bit. So basically I need to make a blueprint. That way, hopefully these lines pretty much stay set exactly the way they are, and I'm not going to have to turn all these things. And we'll put one of them here, and I'll work on the copper after that. And we'll do this for the iron. Not sure why that middle one didn't keep its thing. But there we go. Now that is set the proper way. So I will set that up to make our iron. And then I'll do another one to do the copper. I'll be back when I have all of this set up and show you how it looks. Be right back. Alright, here we go. I got it all set back up now. We have our main 3 lines of ore coming up through here, which we can now get rid of that. I am going to take these boxes and empty them out in a little while, but it has ran a little bit of ore and our water's staying right at 21k, so that's looking good. I have all of our assembly machines sending our lithium down this line and into that box for right now. So the main thing we need to do now is connect up all of our belts here. So there goes the copper, the iron. Both of these are set up that the input priority is to the right, so it has to take from these 2 lines before it will take from any other. And now we just need to run both of these down and connect them up over here. And I'm going to change out these yellows for reds the rest of the way down probably. For right now, I'm just going to connect them back up. So that is our iron. This will be our copper. And then this top one will be the aluminum, which I have to set that back up because I took out the iron, or I took out the steel and the aluminum smelting down here. So I have cleaned out this bit of an area up here, and I'm going to do the aluminum and the steel up here. I went ahead and put in the other copper, or at least a blueprint of it right there. But we now have our iron, copper, and aluminum, all 3 coming down this main line right here, so we can use them to smelt wherever we plan on doing it. I'm going to see if we have enough room here to set this up. With the amount of dirty water that it takes for landfill, I am going to go ahead and set up a stone to landfill for right now. I also need to run a stone line over for the ceramics. And we don't need that one any longer. So that'll get our stone over here for our ceramics. As I said, I will probably be spreading this out back in this area to make us more ceramics in here now, since we quite possibly will be needing a lot more of them. I'm going to work on getting these belts all moved around and get everything hooked back up and running. I do need to reset up the stone brick smelting as well, because I took that out because it was just kind of jammed in right here. I'll probably put that up in this area here, since we're not going to need a lot of it, I don't believe, but we should be able to get a pretty good stone smelting area in right there before we do our metal stuff down this way. But I'm going to go ahead and work on this stuff off camera. If you have any questions about how I set all this stuff up, let me know, and I will be glad to answer it. It does look like my copper, even though this is running, I still don't have enough aluminum to fill that long line, but I'm sure once I turn everything back on, I'll be okay. I probably should put in a one of these for each one of these, just to give it a buffer to work off of, and I think I will go ahead and do that. So next thing we're going to work on, we did unlock 2 new things. We have diesel train and we have basic energy. And basic energy just says basic energy production. So I'm guessing that is just a unlock for these 3 here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that researched, and then we can look at these next. And this looks like it's the solar panel 2.0, which is the thing we needed for that last KI 1 thing that we had already unlocked before. And then we have our diesel train, which gives us diesel fuel unit, diesel train turbochargers, generators, the actual diesel train, and some energized diesel fuel units, which we will take a look at this a bit later after we get into the power stuff that we are researching now. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, get all of this changed, set the stone smelting area back up. I'll show you all this in the beginning of the next one. And I'm probably going to send the mysterious energy crystals up here and get the stack inserters in the next video, since that's another thing that's going to be different from any vanilla setup, since it needs the mysterious energy crystals. We'll go ahead and set that up in the next one so we can get those used for buffers and unloading my trains. But I do believe I have kept you all here listening to me ramble long enough. So I will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.